International Coordinating Committee asks that all the groups hear this manifesto, so we're going to read it. Okay. On this day, March 8th, we women gather in the public spaces of our villages, towns, and cities in opposition against growing international misogyny, xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia, and racism and femicide in the International Women's Strike. For centuries now, and very strongly in recent months, we are raising our voices in unison to declare an emphatic no against these systematic wrongs and violence. Yet, we have been meeting consistently with insults and humiliations from our government and their supporters.
Today, March 8, 2017, is time to declare enough. No more. Though not all of us can strike today, not all of us can walk freely into our streets to protest, though not all of us can even walk into our streets without being supervised by a man, dear sisters and others, fear not. We remember you, and we raise our voices of protest also in your name. We are women from 38 countries united in International Women's Strike and striking today across the globe. IWS is constituted not only of thousands of feminist organizations, but in great part by local grassroots movements, and above all by individual women. IWS was created for all women, and each woman makes up part of IWS, International Women's Strike. Today, bonded and united by the vital will to get what we deserve as human beings in our lives and for our daughters, sisters, and friends, we continue in the 21st century the work our grandmothers set out upon in the 19th and 20th centuries in achieving, for some of us, voting rights, rights to study, the right to divorce, rights to perform in the professions we desire, or to drive a bike or even a car. But in the 21st century, too many of us are still refused education or land rights because we were born girls. The work we do as mothers, as carers, is not recognized. Poverty and financial dependence affects us more because we are women. For some girls, human desire to live the way they want is taken away. Even dreams of performing sports they want are forbidden.
Each of us across the planet-wide IWS organization is presenting on this day our list of specific demands depending on our local realities.
And when it's over, it's over. Guess what?
Can't hear you.
I'm looking for my tweet.
Can't hear you.
I'm looking for my tweet. My name is DJ Man Breach Lane. I'm searching high and low. Once upon a time America. I used to get down and low. Hey, Chief, hey, Sergeant Tony Jones. But what? I respect everyone. We all love our people. Don't try to separate. That don't make sense to me. Cause see, when you born, some don't lay you down. I love each and every one of you. In the name of Jesus, Oakland.
Thank you, guys. So each of us across the planet-wide IWS organization is presenting on this day our list of specific demands depending on our local reality. But each and every one of us agree on demanding human rights for women at every latitude and securing the freedom to decide about our lives and choices, that our oppressors must be persecuted and punished by law instead of victimizing us and being protected by corrupt legal systems, separation of state institutions from the church, which is shamefully among one of our oppressors, equal economic benefits, pay equality, and fair and appropriate legal conditions in our reproductive lives. Paid maternity time and a living wage. We, the women, will not tolerate restrictions imposed upon us by those who are in power any longer. United as at no other time in human history, constituting more than half of the population on this planet, and focused on the common good, we will fight without ceasing until our demands are realized. The ruling powers have not agreed to submit to our call for rights, so now they must fear us. Because we are the power. We are invincible. We are everywhere, in every single corner and oasis of the globe, because we have the weapon, solidarity. Okay, so we just want to welcome you all and thank you for coming, and we are very excited and humbled to be here in front of you. Our first speaker is going to be... So we have a poet who's coming to speak to you. Her name is Allison Lutterman, and she's going to read her poem entitled Invisible Work.
Hello, beautiful people. How many of you feel like at times your work has been invisible? This is for you. Because no one could ever praise me enough. Because I don't mean these poems only, but the unseen, unbelievable efforts it takes to live the life that goes on between them. I think all the time about invisible work, about the young mother on welfare I interviewed years ago, who said it's hard. You take him to the park, run rings around yourself, trying to keep him safe, cut hot dogs into bite-sized pieces for dinner, and there's no one there to tell you what a good job you're doing, how you were patient and loving for the 1,000th time, even though you had a headache. And I, who am used to feeling sorry for myself because I am lonely, when all the while, as the Chippewa poem says, I am being carried by great winds across the sky. I thought of the invisible work that knits up this world day and night. The slow, unglamorous work of healing. The way worms in the garden tunnel ceaselessly so the earth can breathe. And bees ransack this world into being, while owls and poets stalk shadows, our loneliest labors under the moon. There are mothers for everything, and the sea is a mother too, whispering and whispering to us long after we have stopped listening. I stopped a minute and let myself lean against the blue shoulder of the air. The work of my heart is the work of the world's heart. There is no other art. Thank you.
Thank you, Allison. Next, we're going to hear from Denise Solis. Thank you. Good afternoon. We are power. My name is Denise Solis, and I am the first vice president for SEIU USWW. And I'm here today because the janitors and service workers that we represent are working in the buildings that surround us, cleaning and protecting those buildings. I'm here today as a queer Latina, daughter of immigrants, daughter of a mother who crossed a border so that her daughter could have a better life and education. And I'm here today to talk about the women janitors who clean buildings all across the country, who work at night, many of whom are immigrants, many of whom are the sole breadwinners of their families. And because they work at night, and because many of them are immigrant women, they are unfortunately vulnerable to harassment on the job, specifically sexual harassment by a workforce of supervisors that are mainly men. As a union that represents janitors, we could not stand and let that happen without having our janitor women fight back, along with the allies who wanted to stand with them. And we took on a campaign saying "Ya basta," which in English means enough is enough. And these immigrant women rose up and they came to the Capitol at Sacramento and they said, we need a law, we need stronger protections, but we're going to enforce them at the work sites. And that's what we are doing now. And that's why I'm here today to speak on their behalf and to say we have to make sure we all come along together. We are all under attack. We need to make sure no one is left behind. Immigrant rights are workers' rights, our trans rights, our queer rights, our women's rights. Black Lives Matter. I am so inspired to be part of this movement, this resistance that's going to continue. I was so proud to march with so many women across the globe in January. I felt so powerful. I know you felt powerful, and I am so happy that we're going to keep doing this. I am so happy because without women, there is no economy. Without women, there is no life. grateful to my mother who gave me life, who taught me to fight back, and that is what I'm here to say. I want to invite all of us to continue to build across our different experiences, our different histories, to know that even though we may have come from different places, even though we choose to love different ways, even though we choose to have different identities, we are all life, we are all power, and we need to take it back. And that's what we're doing today, sisters and others. Before I leave, I just want to invite us all on May 1st, International Workers' Day. And any other people coming in this world, we need to rise up. May 1st, we need to come together and say we are not going to work. We're going to shut it down. Keep shutting things down. Until we are not only heard, but until we realize our power, until people stop telling us what we get to do with our bodies, who we choose to love, how we choose to be in the world, and until all of our trans brothers and sisters are treated with the dignity they deserve. Until our immigrant brothers and sisters are not living in fear of being ripped apart by their families. Until refugees who, I'm sorry, but we cause many of the things that happen around the world. Our government, our irresponsible government, causes these situations. So until refugees have a home, have a place to go, until our Muslim brothers and sisters are treated with the dignity that they deserve, we are going to keep fighting, we are going to keep marching, we're going to keep resisting. May 1st, let's shut it down. Join our resistance network. There's people signing folks up. Let's stay in touch. Let's keep fighting together. You all look beautiful, sisters and others, allies. We are all power. Are we power? Well, that was fantastic. Everybody give it up for Nita B. What's up, Oakland? Everyone just put it with the thing before I get started. We all say, I love my mama! I love my mama! If it wasn't for your mama, no matter what your relationship is with her, you wouldn't be here today. None of us would. And we're women. We populate the whole planet from the beginning of time to the end of time. And apparently people got a little bit jealous about that and decided they wanted to squash our power. But we can't do that. So my name is Nita B. I'm with a couple of organizations, Feed the People, which is involved with serving and doing advocacy and protection for our homeless residents and population here in Oakland. We are one of the organizations that helped create the Village. Everybody remember the Village? Well, the city might have bulldozed us, but we're not done. We're going to keep on building and getting ready to start building land and take more land.
That's right!
Because the number one mama that needs to be freed up is Mama Earth.
Yeah!
And it's not that grassroots movement that told us we need to free the land to serve the people for public good.
Right.
Let's free the land. So I was asked to come and speak about particularly the homeless population we serve and as well as the youth. I'm going to start with the homeless population. And if there's anything I can tell you about homeless women, if there's anything I can tell you about homeless women, homeless people in general, but particularly the women, they are some of the strongest, the fiercest, the most determined, the most resourceful, the most intelligent beasts out there. They are fierce. Don't get it twisted.
Right!
Some of the strongest people you will ever meet live on these streets. And they are so fierce they cannot be kept down, despite their conditions. And I want to share with you some of the conditions that women are facing out on these streets. There are about 4,000 homeless people, according to Alameda County, that live in Oakland. But if you're out in the streets talking to people, we think there might be more like 6,000 in Oakland alone. And that makes up for at least 50% of all Alameda County.
Many of the folks who are homeless have been previously incarcerated, either through the juvenile system, through the medical system, or through the prison system, and also suffer all sorts of chronic illness and specific illnesses that women have to deal with as well. Over 85% of the homeless families out in Oakland streets are actually headed by women who have 2 to 3 children out there with them, or 2 to 3 children that are in the system. But a lot of the families out there are run by single mothers. So think about that. If you were a parent of a 2-house family, think about what it would be like if you were a parent of a 1-parent family living out in the street trying to figure out where you're going to sleep at night, how you're going to feed your children, how you're going to get them to school, how you're going to get them to a doctor's appointment. Keep them safe, keep them well, keep them protected out in the street. I'm telling you, homeless people are fierce. Homeless families are typically headed up by young mothers at that. Most of them have not finished high school or unemployed. Over 92% of the homeless mothers here in Oakland, California have experienced severe physical and or sexual violence during their lifetime. In fact, 1 out of every 4 homeless women is homeless because of violence committed against her in her family or with her partner, her husband, her significant other. And the inadequate housing and shelter options, evictions, discrimination, poverty, racism, classism, sexism, ageism, anti-disabilityism, they all factor to contribute to the crisis that homeless women are facing here on the streets. Domestic violence and sexual violence is huge amongst women who are out in the streets. And but like I said, these women are fierce, they are unstoppable, they are resilient, and they continue every single day. And despite the fact that they will not stop, that they will continue to survive, that most of them have 2 to 3 jobs or actual hustles out there to continue to survive despite the odds against them. You would think that the city of Oakland, the home of the Panthers, our city hall, who has a woman as the mayor, would actually have some compassion. A mayor who says that she's from the town. Now, if you know about the town, you know that people in the town take care of each other. That's what we do. So I expect the mayor who says that she's from the town to start taking care of the town. Not displace the town and create a homeless problem. Or continue the homeless problem that her mentor, Jerry Brown, created.
Right.
And so as we move forward, she's our mayor, and she should be acting like our mayor. Not someone else's mayor, not the people who aren't here yet. And she's a mayor who's creating homeless problems and creating homeless women and homeless families. I didn't vote for her. Not my mayor, not my president. Yeah, is she here today?
No.
Is Libby here? Is Libby Trump here? Sanctuary cities, sanctuaries for everybody, for black people and homeless people. Take care of that.
I love you.
So in terms of homelessness, I really, we feed the people. We're not a nonprofit. We're just a bunch of homies and homies and homies and homies and homies and homies and friends and families who just do this. We go out there every night. I'm about to run out there after I put down this mic, and we serve 47 encampments here in Oakland. We feed up to 200 to 300 people every week. As well as different provisions. We start out doing people, then we start doing provisions, and then we start doing advocacy. We realize people really need support, so we start helping them, making those phone calls, traveling through the system. And then we also added on protection. So we will mobilize and protect and defend the encampments when the police and our city governments come to disrupt their homes.
Thank you.
So I'm saying all this meaning that if we could do it, y'all could do it too. And for women, when you see women out there, just keep in mind everything I just said. A lot of the women have been dealing with violence. They sometimes folks just need some support, a hot cup of coffee, a cigarette, somebody to hear their story, a hot, a meal. It just takes a little bit of kindness to go a very long way, And that's one thing that women do, is that we're the nurturers. We're the healers, we're the caretakers, and that should extend beyond our immediate family, right? As we call it with the village, we are a village, right? And what the village was able to do, to take public land that was being misused, underused, and neglected, and create homes out of just the generosity of the people, which was the people of Oakland, the village of Oakland, we were able to house 16 people in 2 weeks. We were able to provide a wellness and health center. We got all 16 residents were lifelong drug addicts, hard narcotics. And at the village, they stopped using drugs. Right? And when the mayor's office, the direct call to demolish the village came from the mayor's desk and was executed by the administrator's office, that mayor, come on sanctuary mayor, put all 16 people in such deep trauma that most of them went back on drugs. That's what your mayor did. She ain't my mayor, but that's what she did.
Right.